It's starting right now. Careful. Oh boy. Oh, am I pulling this out?
Yes.
Sorry, I'll sit closer to you. I need to get like longer cords. What's up, everybody? Sorry we had a little bit of a late start. I went to go start the show and went to go do the broadcast, and there was like no video, and it was saying that like my camera wasn't working. So then, of course, if anybody knows about IT, the way you fix any computer problem is you just turn it off and turn it back on again, right?
That's
pretty much the magic fix.
That's pretty much what every IT guy ever told me when they had to come to my office or my little cubicle when something wasn't working. It was always, have you turned it off and turned it back on?
Well, but
did you unplug it?
It's kind of like the joke in like the nerdy computer world, but it really is true. Like probably 8, 9 times out of 10, if you turn off your computer and or your phone or whatever it is. I think it's like the longer it runs, it kind of like all this processing stuff kind of builds up and builds up and builds up, and then it starts like not working so much anymore.
Reboot. Yes.
But anyway, so I had to do that like right before the show
we were
started.
very rushed.
And then set everything back up again for today's show. But hey, you guys, we have an awesome show today. It's Wednesday, so it's Boss Up and List Day, which means in the Boss Facebook group, we do an all-day virtual listing party. I put a post up first thing in the morning. Actually, we have somebody, Jen, who does an earlier one because she's on the East Coast. Plus,
she's up at the crack of ass.
I think she wakes up
or something.
I think she wakes up crazy early, like her own time. But then also we're 3 hours behind. So anyway, we do that in the boss group, and then everybody like checks in and says what their goals are for the day, and then we take this fun little break at 11 a.m. Pacific time. We do have, the show is not going to go super long. We kind of have a hard out, like about probably 11:50, because we do have a phone call that we have to be on at noon. But what are we doing today?
We are doing a live story view.
We are.
So you may see the little square down at the bottom of our screen.
No, you don't.
Oh, you don't see it yet?
It's only if you have 3 people or more that it actually shows like a little, like
so
they can't
we're the only one that can see her?
Yes, they can't see her yet. So we're keeping her as a surprise. Not really a surprise. Anyway, we have Barb on today. She's in the Boss Facebook group, but she also has a YouTube channel, and she sells and does a lot of like jewelry and stuff. So we're going to get into that here in a minute. But we got some stuff in the mail this week.
We did. We got some presents. We got some surprises.
What did we get?
Well, this thing we got from Dana Cheshire, I think. This is actually really cute. She sent this really sweet letter and this note about our YouTube channel, and basically she sent these magnets, which I think are more for me than for Katie, because they're all about different ways to kill the cat. Yeah. I think it's pretty funny. The kitchen magnets, they say goodbye, kitty. I kind of love them.
Oh, poor kitty.
I'm gonna put them on the front of the dishwasher. I think
I like
they're so cute.
The waffle maker kitty.
You put the kitty in the waffle maker.
I do not
Fry
recommend.
the kitty.
I do not recommend doing any of these
Toast
things.
the kitty. I think that's really cute.
Yeah.
So, thank you for that. We love getting surprises.
Yeah. See, Jesse, your husband's very sad about it. Very sad.
I thought it was cute.
Lorna likes him though. Yeah. So anyway, and then the other thing we got in the mail. Apparently, Allison, Big Drift Thrift, has not grown tired of sending us stuff.
I know. She's so funny.
We got another package in the mail, and first of all, I'm wearing the t-shirt that she sent me, which here, I'm going to stand up real quick. This I love because it is a Christmas cat mashup.
It's a Scrooge McCat.
It's a Scrooge McCat, bah humbug. Look at how adorable. Look at him with his little spectacles. So I'm pretty stoked about it. So I had to wear it today because I wanted to wear a fun, festive kitty cat Christmas t-shirt.
And happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish friends, or as Katie Zilberberg, the not Jew.
I'm just like a really bad Jew because I was raised Baptist, so that gets in the way of being as Jewy as I should be. And then the other thing that
we have a menorah.
Yeah, we do. Because we have like some real Jewish friends who actually do it right. The other thing she sent me is this awesome. I haven't tried it out yet, but this awesome. It's like a portable handheld steamer. And it's
mini
like
steamer.
Yeah, and it's like it took me a minute to figure it out, but you do that, and then it's got the little brush on it. You can steam.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep. Allison says lesbian Jew. I'm a lesbian Jew.
Lesbian Jews.
Pretty much. But how cool is that? I love it. It's adorable. I like that it's a little portable one. So I'll definitely have to test that out and see how it works.
Katie puts the ish in Jewish. Yeah. Perfect.
Thanks a lot, Susie.
That was perfect.
By the way, Susie, I don't remember if you were on the show when Teresa was wearing her new jacket that we gave her, her T-Money jacket, but I thought you would appreciate that. Anyway, so those are all the fun gifts. Also, Allison just said that she did her resellers and blankets post on Instagram. We haven't looked at it yet, but it should be pretty awesome. I don't know if you guys have seen. Basically, Ryan from Rally Roots posted
he always does these fantastic model pictures because he's definitely
very serious.
He's very blue steel. He's you know, he's so pretty, right? He's got the blonde hair, the blue eyes. He's adorable, right? So he takes these photos every once in a while in his fantastic streetwear. And then he took this photo with some blanket yesterday.
There's a Pendleton blanket. And he was like, you know, make sure you're selling your blankets and jackets or whatever.
I don't know why he took, I don't know what the point of it was, the photo, but then Wade from Wade's Ventures sent a photo back in making fun with, you know,
a picture of him with
the blanket over his head, and then kind of did a hashtag resellers and blankets, and it was just very funny. And then
there's been some other
people started doing them.
Like Kelly from our group did one that was pretty funny. And so
there have been quite a few.
Of course, we had to do ours, so you should definitely check out our Instagrams because they're hilarious.
They were very funny.
Yeah, pretty much.
All of them are very funny. Yeah, Daily Refinements was pretty funny too. Chris did one in like, he looks like he's wearing like a zebra tiger scrap of fabric. I don't even know, but it was pretty funny.
Jesse, we saw their video the other night where he was wearing the t-shirt that we sent them all t-shirts. So he was wearing the Blossom t-shirt. So it was super cool. Anyway, guys, we're doing another live store review. We like to do these. This is an interesting one because we have Barb on. She actually has a YouTube channel going on Grumpy, which we're going to ask her about because I think from what I could see, there's some interesting stuff happening there. She's got an eBay store. I'm not entirely sure, Barb, what your eBay store is called because you have your username, but then you also have a different store name. But your Etsy store, Once Upon a Brooch. Brooch. You said you pronounce it brooch. I don't know. It's 2 O's. What do I look like? Somebody who's broaching shit? Whatever. Anyway,
it's a brooch.
Okay, fine. Anyway, Barb, welcome to the show. What is happening?
Oh, they talked about the card in the photo we sent them. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
sorry.
Sorry, Barb.
We sent some stuff to Rally Roots. I guess we didn't see the video where they talked about the card and we sent them a picture. But anyway, Barb, welcome to the show. What's happening?
Not much. I'm glad to be here. Actually, I'm the lurker. I'm the one who watches everything and hardly comments because I either doing something or is listening.
That's all right. We like lurkers too.
I'm the donut lady. I'm the one who asked about either is it cream or jelly. That's me.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's a very, very important topic. But I will say, I do want to say I appreciate the posters that you have on your wall behind you. I'm digging them.
She's got some Star Wars action going on back there.
Yeah. So, okay. So tell me, Barb, how long have you been selling? Because I know you have a Poshmark store as well, or Poshmark closet. We don't do Posh, so we didn't even look at it just because we were already looking at your eBay and your Etsy. But
I don't think we can qualify and give you tips on Posh.
Well, that's what I said. And even Etsy, it's a little iffy. But tell me, you have eBay, Etsy, and Poshmark. Just kind of tell us like how long you've been selling, what you're selling, what you sell. Give us a little idea of what you do.
Okay, so my story is I was born in Hungary, raised in Israel, then moved here. So when I got here, I realized I cannot pursue the same career I had in Israel because it's just not going to work. And then I went into retail and I realized I cannot work in retail and I cannot work with people.
I'm sure a lot of us feel the same way.
What?
I think a lot of us feel the same way about not being able to work with people.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of resellers who it has a lot to do with.
Want to buy it? You don't want to buy it? Get out. Like, I don't have the patience. So I was looking for revenues I need to make income, right? We all need to make income to pay our bills and do our daily, whatever we need to do. So I'm like, okay, I can. My best friend, she lives in England and she sells spices on eBay, exotic spices. So she told me about eBay and she said, okay, just go around your house, pick out a few things you don't like anymore, you don't want, and list it and see what happens. And that was 3 years ago. So, and here I am today realizing that basically I can make, I'm not going to be rich, but I can make more money doing this than working for the man for minimum wage.
Yeah, I hear you. So you've been doing eBay for a few years, and then Etsy you're relatively new though, right? Because I see you've had like 8 sales on Etsy, and I couldn't tell when the first couple ones happened, but like the third sale was like this summer. So I'm assuming that you're relatively new on Etsy.
Yes, I had an Etsy shop up for a while, but I never did anything with it. And then you have a lot of jewelry resellers in the YouTube community, and one of them is just do it. Just open it up and see what happens, and that's where I'm at. So I have eBay, Poshmark, and Etsy. I'm trying to juggle it, but I'll learn, you know? Like you have to be able to expand and learn new things and develop and move forward because you never know what's going to happen with which platform. So at least this way you have something else to fall back on just in case.
Yeah, sure. For sure. Just a second though, something very important just came up in the comments.
I saw
Alexis has just informed everyone that today is Dozens Day on Krispy Kreme.
12/12 is Dozens
Day. Oh, 12/12. I thought it was today. Wait. Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter then. I don't care. I don't care because it doesn't mean today. Apparently 12/12 is Dozens Day, which means that you can go to Krispy Kreme and get like a dozen donuts, and then the second dozen is $1.
Yeah. So, it's my favorite day.
So when are we starting that diet? Not
12/13 apparently.
Anyway, so Barb, I didn't get to like watch too much of your eBay, or sorry, your YouTube channel. Your handle is Going On Grumpy, but I noticed something. It looked like you were actually like selling stuff. Like you're actually selling stuff through your YouTube channel, like you were doing, like maybe you're showing your. Can you just tell us like how are you selling stuff through YouTube?
Because that's something different. Neither one of us do that, so I'd like to hear about it. How you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the auctions we have on YouTube, it started out with the MSP auction show where reseller community will come together and sell stuff they couldn't sell anymore, or they didn't want to deal with, to other resellers to help out somebody in the community who's in need. Like me, after Irma, we had a tree come through our house. So we lost the roof and we lost the bedroom. So they came together and they sold stuff off to donate so we can fix things up because we had problems with the insurance. You know, not going to get into it, but there wasn't enough money. So that's how it started. And as time went on, MSP, Mothership Products, still runs, and we still do the same thing for other resellers that are in need. But we started like, when you do what we do and we end up with so much jewelry that you're drowning in it, you cannot list all of it. And usually you don't want to list all of it because what you like, somebody else might not like, and vice versa. So you end up with the things you're excited about listing, and the rest just sits and piles up and too good to go in a craft lot. You don't want to throw it away. You don't want to redonate it. You paid good money for it. So it ends up goes up on YouTube, and usually we sell it for very cheap to other resellers or collectors or people that just want something nice to wear. Basically, that's how it started.
That's interesting. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at some of your videos now that I know about it. So.
Yeah, totally. And I see people talking about Mothership Products, MSP. Is that okay? So that's what you're talking about. Very, very cool. So it looks like people are really into it. So you guys should totally check it out.
Also in the chat, you see there's a lady named Bougie Vintage. Her name is April. So I do also the auctions with her.
Oh, okay.
It's like a month ago, I pulled out all my craft supplies. I said, I don't want to deal with this. I paid a lot of money. I don't want to. See, I'm nervous. I didn't want to redonate it, right, to Goodwill. So I'm like, so me and her got together. Okay, let's get rid of it. Cheap for people that want to craft with the same stuff.
Sure.
And basically it goes really cheap, like ridiculously cheap. And then people pay that, and plus the shipping goes in auction because we don't want people arguing or fighting. Oh, you like her better because you gave it to her, blah, blah, blah. So this way, just easier.
You bid in the chat. Okay,
We
I get
all
it.
know the YouTube community can be cruel and can be crazy. So
Okay, so Treasure Hustlers is talking about how you bid in the chat, and they say that the MSP auction show is every Saturday. Is that on your channel?
no, it's Mothership Products.
Oh, that's a
Mothership
different channel.
Products,
Okay,
okay.
so Mothership Products is a different channel, and so that's every Saturday. Is it? What time is it usually on Saturdays?
My time would be, oh my God, Sarah. I don't know which girls in Treasure Hustlers. I don't know this too. They know.
Well, I guess just like search Mothership Products on YouTube, and they should be able to find it, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay. Yes.
All right. No, I'm.
Oh, I thought I thought you were poking me for a reason.
It's
over
11:20. I'm trying to
Okay,
speed
so-
you up.
He's rushing
Okay,
it.
so see, she does the thing where she'll like poke me or something, and I don't know I don't know. We don't have signals worked out beforehand. Like when I poke
I
you,
need
this
some-
is what.
Hand signals, like the umpires use.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to rush Barb. I don't want to rush you, but I do know that we have the time cut off because we have to jump on that conference call. So I want to get into the nitty gritty of actually looking at her store and getting into some information. So
All right. So,
but
but real quick, I see people are saying in the chat that the show starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And it's like they give you a number, and whoever gets number up in the chat wins. Okay, interesting. So you guys should go check it out because that sounds pretty cool. It looks like a lot of people.
We each do our own thing now, but it started from the MSP auction show.
Okay, and yeah, you should definitely look at it. So let's go ahead, and we're mainly gonna be reviewing Barb's eBay store just because that's what we understand, and that's what we can actually give like.
We're
some decent
friendly. I
information about.
promise. If you've watched any of these shows before, any of the store reviews, we are very kind. We're not going to beat you up. Nobody in the chat.
Go back and end a few listings. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Nobody's going to beat you up, I promise. Yes, the post office is closed today. It's usually just the offices that are closed. As a matter of fact, they are delivering and picking up in many areas. I'm not sure if that's
not
yours
everywhere,
or not. Not everywhere, because actually my post office already picked up my packages. I did ship today, but you don't have to. So that's a nice thing. You can take it out from shipping if you'd like.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so we can look at Barb's eBay store. But also, actually, first, just real quick, I do have her YouTube up here. It's going on Grumpy, so you can see there's like a whole bunch of videos. She's doing a lot of jewelry sales. Looks like she's got a bunch of different stuff going on. So if you guys are into jewelry, especially, it looks like this is going to be a channel you're going to want to check out.
Yeah. Cool. That is one of the things that is just not my forte. I can do it a little bit. If it's signed, I'm all about that because I can research.
Yeah.
If it's not signed, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Not my thing.
So eBay.
I started out in hard goods.
Oh, okay.
And after what happened in Irma, we lost the bedroom where we used to store stuff. I had to downsize, like seriously. And somehow I ended up with jewelry because it's small, you can store it.
Easy to store, easy to ship. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, not my forte, actually.
I feel like everybody kind of naturally comes across like if they have a niche, what their niche is or what their areas are that they kind of more strongly focus on. It just kind of happens organically. Okay, so we're looking at your eBay store here. So you've got 357 live listings right now.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at your sold listings, it shows 82 results for the past 90 days. So if we do the fun math of sell-through rate, do some mathing. So if you take 82, divide it by 3, so you can kind of see like an average of how many items you sell per month.
I was on vacation for like 3 weeks, so.
So that's a little bit slower than normal. Okay, so take that.
Are you trying to get us to not judge you too harshly?
She's qualifying.
No, I was in England, so I did.
Well, so according to this, your sell-through rate comes down to about 7.8%. Now, I don't personally know like what the normal rate would be for like jewelry. I would think maybe jewelry goes a little slower than some other things, but
I really don't know. But she has a pretty good mixture of stuff. It's not just jewelry. So, you know, my sell-through rate is usually around at between 8 and 10%. It's a little bit higher this time of the year. You know, my sales are really good. I think I'm around 12% or so right now. But when you have, everybody's different. You know, I think when you're selling used items, your sell-through rate is going to be a little slower than if you were just new. It's, you know, I think 8% it is not that bad. And she said she was on vacation for 3 weeks. So we're gonna kind of throw that percentage out for the time being. But
but I mean, the majority of stuff, if you look at like her categories, jewelry and watches, of 357 results, over 200 of them fall under that. I think she has less than 50 under clothing, and then like another, you know, 40 in collectibles. So really, you know, the vast majority of stuff is going to be her jewelry stuff. Real quick, faded. It says, I feel like our Q4 is a disaster this year, down to 131% from last month. Faded, what is how many items do you have listed in your store? Just curious. Go ahead and put that over in the chat. What was that, Barb?
Yeah, no, fourth quarter is strangely, weirdly very bad.
Yeah.
Like even with my vacation, it shouldn't be this low.
I hear you. I mean, I will say one of the things is going to be the number of items in your store. It's hard to see like a lot of trends and kind of, you know, it's hard to really judge that when you have like a really smaller number. What?
Fade has 476 items in the store.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I kind of think that that's the when it comes to fourth quarter, it really, you want to have like a lot of listings, and it's going to be harder to
a lot of listings and a lot of variety. I think you really get solid around 1,000 listings. 750 to 1,000 is when you're going to start to see consistent sales. And again, it depends on what I mean, if you're only flipping, you know, Nintendo Switches and, you know, for $25 profit on each item, then of course you're going to have a much higher sell-through rate. It just depends on what you sell. It really does.
The vast majority of us do sell one-off items that we're thrifting, not a lot of replenishables. Bargain Effect wants to know, how do you figure out your sell-through rate? If you look at so let me go back and look at this real quick. Looking at Barb's solds, if you see what your solds are here, this covers the last 90 days. And so if you take this number, divide it by 3, and that's going to give you kind of an average of how many sales per month. And this is assuming that you kind of keep a relatively steady number of active listings.
It's not perfect. It's
right.
Not perfect.
This isn't a perfect way of looking at this, but anyway, you would take this number 82, divide it by 3 to get your average monthly sales. And then you would take that number, your average monthly sales, and divide it by your current number of listings. And then you're going to move your decimal point over twice to the right, and that's going to give you a percentage. And that's going to be your sell-through rate for the month.
Okay.
All right. Snippety snappity.
I'm sorry. It's at 11:30. We've got 25 minutes.
Okay. So why don't you start?
Okay. So I'm looking at, we usually do a little bit of a format here. So, and you can take notes if you'd like, or you can just go back and review this more than once probably and take some notes. But really, first thing we're going to start with is your pictures. So your pictures, for the most part, are pretty good. You are almost in every picture using the square photo setting, and your pictures of your hard goods and your jewelry are fantastic. Yeah, your lighting kit is really good. Whatever you're doing is great.
The clothing, I hate.
The clothing is your weak point in photos. Yeah. That's true. But if you know that, then that's where you have your room for improvement.
But even the clothing, when it comes to the lighting, I think the lighting, everything you can see really nicely.
Yeah.
You've got a picture, you've got it hanging on the door, which let me tell you, Barb, I was totally doing this when I started. And since it's not really like your main thing, like what you've got like 45 clothing items, but if you look at like your Etsy thing, your Etsy page, like the lighting you have on your jewelry is really nice. Like
your Etsy store is beautiful. Your jewelry is beautiful. It looks really nice. Your photographs are clear and crisp. The colored backgrounds and the varied backgrounds that you have look really nice for jewelry. I think for Etsy, those work beautifully. Now, the difference is that when you put them on eBay, eBay really encourages you to have a white or a black background. So unless you want to take your pictures twice, which nobody does, who wants to do that? You're going to look different on for eBay.
And that has to do with having your listings be found in Google search results. And so having like either a white or a black background. So, I mean, yeah, it would make your Etsy pictures not look as great, but I would just take pictures for everything, the same pictures for everything, and maybe just have a solid black and a solid white background. But people are asking, Barb, what you're using for your lighting especially on the jewelry. Ooh, we're gonna get a show and tell. The cat is demonstrating.
My hard good mess.
But
It will never get listed and probably go in auction.
The cat is ready for her close-up.
Yeah, so these lights, this is the same lights I think that Teresa has. I think Casey Paris also has the same light.
Yeah, the simplest light kit. The key is not the light kit. The key is having a correct camera, the right camera.
Very true.
Balance.
Yeah. Very true. What camera are you using?
I'm using a very old Coolpix.
Oh, okay. I had one of those. Yeah. Yep. It's a good camera.
Very old, reliable, low tech.
No, but great macro and micro settings on those cameras. So
Jessie Hosman says that she will buy the cat. So how much are you selling the cat for?
There's no return on the cat.
no return on the cat.
She's a bottle baby and she is big. She's mean and she bites. If you watch my videos, you'll see she will attack me
she's mean and she
during
bites.
the filming. So
okay, so my main suggestion on your photos is I'm going to tell you something about your clothing photos because the rest of your photos are actually very good. So your clothing photos, if you scroll up to say there's a red dress in like the first few right there.
It's actually a coat.
it's a dress.
Oh, is it a dress? Oh, okay.
It looks like a coat. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I know I saw that it was a dress. Anyway, one of the things that I'm going to suggest is I know you'd use the long photo, and that's fine because you need to use that for long items. I would suggest taking a photo of just the front of the item like this.
Basically, it would look kind of like this.
For your main photo.
Okay.
On everything that you're photographing as far as clothing, you want to get the close-up of what the item is like that and keep it square. You're always going to want to use your main photo, your gallery photo as a square photo.
Yeah. Well, what I actually do is I will when I upload my pictures to eBay, I actually upload 2 copies of whatever the main photo is. And then even though I don't technically edit any of my pictures, I do this, and then I will, within the eBay listing tool, I'll actually edit the first picture and make a square of the closer up. And the reason I do that is I like the lighting to be perfectly consistent between that closer up picture and the next picture, as opposed to physically stepping in closer and taking a closer picture when I'm taking photos, if that makes sense.
So the reason why you want to use a square photo is all of your photos should be done in a square 1-to-1 setting ratio. Someone asked in the chat, that is what is encouraged by eBay. That is what is encouraged by search. This is how you're going to view all of your photos.
See, I didn't know that because I know Poshmark does that. But
yeah, Poshmark encourages square photos, and so does Etsy. So
let's do red. Give me a search term. Red dress.
Sure.
Let's look at women's clothing. So I'm just going to show you really, really quick, guys, when you're looking at this. So
you're going to get all the Chinese sellers.
I know, but I'm trying to look at like a search. Like this dress, look, it's super far away. Apparently she's just taking a picture of herself in the mirror.
That's a stock photo too.
Yeah, these are really bad.
That's a bad example.
You're a bad example.
Yeah.
Let's do Tommy Hilfiger vintage jacket. Yeah, so you've got pictures that are far away.
The best photos are going to be the ones that are square and a close photo.
Yeah, just so looking at the whole page.
Like that's a good photo right there. So put your little marker.
Yeah, you're looking at a page of results here, and basically you're allowed a square. That's your real estate of what people can see. And so would you rather have this far away rectangular picture, or would you rather fill up that whole square? And so that's why we say use the square. It's just going to look a lot better. It's going to look a lot better when you look at your store. Let's see.
Yeah, when I signed up after I realized I'm gonna go, and I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna see. But you can tell what I like to do and what I don't like to do.
You absolutely can.
Obvious.
You can tell you don't like to do clothes. And here's what I would say about that. If you don't like to do clothes and you don't like to photograph them and you don't like to sell them, then don't.
Yeah, you don't need to.
I have a pile of clothes to my side with new tags and a tailor for before I went on vacation.
Yeah, you look at them and you say, if you keep putting it to the side and you hate to photograph them, you hate to do them, be like Katie with pants. Just don't.
Don't do it.
Tags.
Just don't. Create a big reseller's box and sell it to somebody else.
And they extra large. No, they size 14, so they are sitting.
Yeah,
Anybody
good
wants
sizes for
anything
things.
up.
Yeah. So in general, most of your photos are great. If you were going to continue selling clothing, I would say my only suggestion is to invest in those half mannequins. They're
I
pretty
have
cheap.
one. Her name is Stella.
Okay, there you go. Use Stella. You need to use Stella. Pull Stella out of the closet because it does look better on a mannequin, whether it's a man's mannequin or a women's mannequin. If you take Stella and flip her around backwards, it works for a man. So you really only need one.
Yeah.
It looks better than the hanger. So that's my only tip on your photos. Honestly,
Yeah, photos are fine.
The stuff that you like, you can tell, and they're really good. Even your pants, your photos of the pants. The older
you can
ones,
see them.
you're
It's
doing
clear.
the flat lay. They're very good.
We're
Flat lay ones are
resellers.
good.
We live in those pants.
So pictures are fine. So let's look at titles really quick. My biggest thing through titles is the ones that are all caps. Don't do all caps. When you do a title like this is much better. I will say you got to think on eBay, your first 5 words are most important. So think about what somebody would be searching, and like this is a picture and you have the picture as the very last word in a long title.
Yeah, but with that, because it's collectible, the first thing people gonna put in is gonna be Murano.
Yeah, so
Murano.
In that case, possibly, yeah.
So you would want to have like whatever the style or the brand.
Put like the picture right after the word.
Yeah, it could be like the 5th word.
Millefiori.
Yeah, it could be like the 5th word, just not all the way at the end because you're just thinking like whatever somebody would be searching.
The other thing that I would say about titles is the caps, lowercase, caps, lowercase, caps, lowercase. It's very hard on the eyes and not very.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no. So
no. I meant like even like that one right there. So some is caps and some are not. Like some.
Right. I mean, when I say new, I will do. When I say something's new, I will use all caps for new. VTG, get rid of. Change. You want it to say vintage in the title because here's the thing, Barb. We found out earlier this year that VTG and vintage are not weighted the same. If you say VTG and somebody searches for a pair of vintage dangle earrings, let's say, your listing will show up, but it'll be lower than listings that actually say vintage spelled out. So I've changed all of my listings to where I will spell out vintage in the title. Sometimes in like the description, I'll have VTG just in case somebody does search, but I think buyers are more likely to actually spell out vintage than there is to say VTG. But that's all for the title. I think here, the biggest thing I want to get into that I think you need to look at is your shipping. We want to talk about your shipping. So what do you have to say about it?
So as far as, goodness, where did I put it?
Oh boy.
So shipping falls under our, what we talk about as far as business policies and things like that. The fact that you accept 30 days returns is great.
Fine. That's good.
You don't have to do free returns. Free returns are good. I would suggest doing free returns on maybe your very light items, maybe your jewelry, that type of thing, because it doesn't cost you, but $2 or $3 to take the return back.
And it puts you higher in the search and you get the discount. So I don't know.
I would suggest that on those things. The heavier things, maybe not. I don't accept free returns on heavier things. In fact, I switched off my free returns entirely. But the biggest thing is going to be on your shipping. So things like your jewelry, clothing, smaller lightweight items, like for example, this little tie, the belt buckle, or
you have a lot of items that are obviously smaller that will go first class that you have $4.45 shipping on them.
So earrings.
It's all calculated shipping. It's
all calculated.
Exactly.
So that's what we're going to talk about.
That's what we're going to talk about. So like, you've got earrings right here for $150, and you're showing shipping of $8.45 to me. So there's really no reason to be charging shipping on first class items. If nothing else, I would put your first class stuff free shipping because it is going to increase your search ranking.
Yeah, but if I saw something with 150, I'm definitely not going to ship it first class.
Right, that's okay. But even if you're doing that, you're going to be shipping it for, if you're selling something for 150 and you want to ship it priority, your shipping priority is going to be under $7.
You're going to be able to put in
Yeah,
a
that's true.
flat
I
rate.
agree. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's going to be under $7.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about that, make your price 160.
Yeah. And like these earrings, you
Or
know,
make those
this
earrings
is going to go first class. So this could be
$24.99
or $25.99 free shipping, because there are people who are going to go over here and they're going to click on this. And suddenly now you have 2 items that I'm gonna see that you're selling under jewelry and watches, because you only have 2 items that have free shipping. So the second somebody clicks on that, you're not even showing up in the results anymore.
Gotcha.
And so just adjusting those prices, and then so let's talk about calculate, because
we're not saying eat the shipping charge. You know,
No, I
increase your
understand.
prices.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
You know, $21.99 or $24.99, make it $25.99, make it $29.99, and put the free shipping in. Because here's the thing, it's not going to cost you $4.45 to ship that anywhere in first class. It's going to cost you $2.66, and then it's going to cost you a little bit more when it goes up if you know, in January. It's going to cost you $2.66 to put that in a little padded mailer. Maybe you use jewelry boxes, maybe you don't. There's no reason for it to show at $4.45. That's going to turn a buyer off, or it could put you lower in the search results. And there's no reason why you can't bump your price $5 and it's going to cost you $2.66.
$17.30 the shipping.
Yeah, a pair of shoes, $17.30.
I just saw it like, what?
Because okay, so here's the thing: you're in Florida, I'm in Nevada, so we're opposite coasts. So that's probably 2 to 3 pounds, and that's what that shows me.
Yeah, that will fit in the regional box.
Correct.
No, but these shoes right here, they're a size 7. It's showing that it's going to cost $17.30 for it to ship to me. Now, you don't necessarily need to do free shipping on this. You could, but you don't have to. However,
put a flat rate there for shoes for $9.95, because you know what? Those are going to ship to us. If you used,
yeah, that's
if
what
you use Pirate Ship, if you use Pirate Ship and you use cubic shipping to ship a pair of shoes, coast to coast, it's going to cost you under $9.
Mm-hmm. So definitely under 9. I was going to show really, really quick here. I'm going to stop screen sharing. So we've talked about this. I know Alexis talks about it a lot too in the Boss Facebook group. The 15 by 12 poly mailer that you can get from eBay, but you can also order anything, you know, order it on Amazon or eBay or whatever, just like a regular poly mailer that's 15 by 12. This is a magical size when it comes to shipping shoes, because for cubic, this falls under 0.2 tier cubic shipping, which it costs, I think the most it costs, depending on where it's going within the United States, is $8.46. Mm-hmm. So those shoes that you have for $17.30, you can send them to us. You could ship them to me for $8.46. Now, I know like a pair of heels, you might be, I don't know. But if you, like, one of the things I do for my shoes is I use this.
And I do this for heels. Katie doesn't sell heels, obviously. No. But I do this for heels and boots.
The reason I use this stuff is I'll take a pair of shoes, so like a pair of heels, I would situate them in a way that however they're going to be. Like, how would you do
they're tight. I would put them like
heel to heel?
No.
The opposite.
Opposite, like you'd find them in a shoebox when you buy them.
Mm-hmm. You do that. You take this and you're going to be careful when you start, but you're going to start wrapping it around them. And what that does is it secures it into like a solid package.
It's a tight little brick package.
Yeah, so they can't like move around.
They're not
going to
snap.
Get squished. They can't, like nothing's going to hurt them. And once you have that in that like tight little package, I guarantee you those shoes would fit in this right here. And if you go on Pirate Ship and use cubic, it's going to cost you $8.46 max to send it out to anywhere within the United States.
So your buyers that are on the West Coast are looking at that and they're seeing a buy it now of $49.95 plus $17.30 shipping. And if anybody knows anything at all about shipping, and most buyers don't, but they're looking at that and going,
yeah, that's so much. Even I say that because I didn't realize, when you do the listing, you don't.
No, you only see it to you. You see the shipping charge to you. So that's what it's looking at.
Yeah, calculated. So
yeah, and what happens is so let's say somebody does buy those shoes. They're going to pay $17.30 shipping, but at the same time, I'm assuming that you're just sending it calculated, so it's costing you probably like $15, $16 to ship this way. Whereas if you use the cubic, it's only going to cost you $8.46. Maybe you charge, if you're going to charge them, maybe you charge them $9.50 or something like that. Personally, I build, even with my shoes, I build the cost right into the price, and I do free shipping, but that's like a preference. But you're definitely spending way, 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 way too much money on your shipping and charging too much to your customers.
And I think that if you take a look at some of your heavier items, you're probably not selling a lot of them to the West Coast.
Yeah. Oh, and also somebody said the Tyvek. So I'm gonna doing a little show and tell here, guys. Real quick, the Tyvek ones. So these are like these are not flat rate. These are just by weight priority. But this is actually a 15 by 12 as well. So this will also work if you don't want to buy poly mailers. I like the poly mailers because they're a little easier to use. But these are free from the post office. You can order these, and they're like a Tyvek. They're really strong. And those same shoes should fit in this. And again, that's only going to be like $8.46 to ship anywhere, like from coast to coast in the U.S., which is really, really nice.
And Peg, there are a few cheat sheets. If you Google cubic shipping chart, you can find a bunch of them. But just keep in mind that those sizes of those envelopes are probably the best that's going to be like your best friend. That's going to be the best thing that you're going to use.
Yeah, Pirate Ship actually has like a really good cubic shipping calculator. Let's see, this is a really good page because, okay, see, this is really cool because you can actually enter in your dimensions. Now this just shows for like a solid box.
This is Pirate Ship, by the way.
We use a lot of like the soft pack, which is what we're doing with the poly mailer, but this is just a really quick way of looking because you can see there's a chart here and it shows you the prices. So you can see in zone 9, that's territories. That's like outside of the actual US.
That's like Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so this cubic 2, $8.46 all the way down to $6.80. So depending on where it's going, it's even cheaper to go cubic than it is for a padded flat rate mailer. Not very often, but it can be. So I'm going to go ahead and put that over in the Chiazette. But this is really good just for if you do have stuff that's sending in boxes. But like I said, all those 12 by 15 packs are going to be cubic 2, so up to $8.46.
You know, Jameson's Closet, we really do hope eBay will get into the cubic shipping. eBay uses a third party. They use Pitney Bowes as their conduit to the USPS site. So it really just has to do with them working out their shipping and their contract with whoever they use. Because you're not shipping using eBay, you're shipping using USPS, but they are using Pitney Bowes as their third party software. So, and that's who they're integrated with. So it has to do with them changing and adapting to some of the new products that are possible, but they are definitely hearing about it a lot from Teresa herself.
All right. So, actually, we're down to like our last 5 minutes here. But here's the thing. I think we covered like the most important things, Barb, that you could do to improve your stores, a little bit on photos, a little bit on titles, but I really think, I think you've got good policies because you do take returns. It looks like you do your own direct international shipping, which is great. I hope you're using the simple export rate on Pirate Ship to get the cheapest first class international rates, but you're doing all that stuff. So the biggest thing is just your shipping stuff. And then after that, I mean, really it's just about increasing your listings.
Having best offer and running occasional sales are two other things that I don't know if you're using sales.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't look like you have one going on right now, which is fine.
Ended, so.
Okay, so running occasional sales and maybe adding best offer on some of your items. You do have it on some things, and then on other things you don't have it on. I think when you're showing high shipping on some items, and maybe you're going to go in and change that.
Yeah, definitely.
That having best offer would have probably helped you or will help you going forward.
Yeah. And it also doesn't look like you're doing promoted listings. Maybe you are on some stuff, but especially with like the jewelry, there's so many varieties and things out there. So with promoted listings, like at least you're getting a bump up in the search, and you're also getting double exposure because you'll be your regular listing, but also the promoted one. So that's something to think about. But bottom line, I would say getting your shipping dialed in and getting more listings up, because, you know, just under 400 listings, if you're trying to make a full-time living doing this, that's not going to be enough.
Correct. Before Irma, I had over 700, and losing storage space is critical.
Yeah.
And I used to sell electronics, actually,
which has a much higher ROI, as you know. So
combos and things like that. And you have to remember that in Florida, you can't put stuff in the garage if it's not climate controlled, because
oh yeah, for sure,
moisture and
moisture, damp, dry rot. So as the year progressed, my listing got lower and lower, and
Yeah, part of it is just going to be building up again, building up and getting to a bigger number, a better number. But I mean, you have good items. I didn't see one thing in there that was junk. So I mean, really, you have good items. So it's just getting the numbers up again and maybe implementing a few of those changes. I really would like to see, and Allison said as well, I'd be interested to see your results in about 3 or 4 months. If you would come back and we'll talk to you again and see how you're doing in about 3 or 4 months. If you implement some of the changes about shipping and about best offer, I think you're going to see a big difference.
Yeah, we can do that. I also have to learn to not emotionally get attached to certain pieces.
It's true. It's true. I think we all have that issue sometimes. You're like, this really should sell for $100. I don't know why it's not selling.
Yeah, especially when you're selling vintage and you can't find it in the condition anymore, and you don't make it in a store it's closed 20 years ago.
Yes.
Learn how to detach and
definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Where in Florida are you, Barb?
I'm in Orlando. I'm in Winter Springs.
Okay.
Orlando area.
So we're gonna have a quick cameo right here. Actually, my daughter's here visiting, and
well, and she has a kitten. Look at the kitten. This is Allie, guys, and this is the little kitten. What's the kitten's name again?
Bend down a little closer because the camera's going out of focus.
Look at that cute cat.
I can't do that with my cat. That's why I said no returns.
No returns. Well, this one has had to spend the most of the time in the spare bedroom because I'm highly allergic to cats, but she's real cute. I would like to snuggle her. I just can't. So this is my daughter, Allie. She's 20, almost 26, going on 45.
Yeah. Yep, Laura, beautiful like her mama. Oh, and Jesse wants to buy Matilda too. Jesse just wants to buy cats right now.
Yep. This is
Matilda's the high price.
Matilda's got her little kerchief on. She's got a Christmas kerchief.
Yeah. Oh, and Allie is on Instagram as well, which your name on there is Meowton. But you know what? We will share her Instagram because it's kind of, what is like your actual, it's not Meowton that they have to search by.
Yeah, it's Meowton, but it's like the license plate version because I had to shorten it. So it's Meow NTN.
Yeah.
And then the tagline is Go Rogue.
Because Rogue
we're cross country.
This little Gretchen. This is the other puppy. This is my grand dog.
Your grand dog.
She's chunk though.
This is my grand dog Gretchen. She's the cutest little thing.
Thank you for the kiss. Thank you.
Here, I'm putting a link to the Instagram right here. Meowton. There you go, guys. All right.
You can follow her cross country trip that she's going on right now with the dog and the cat and heading back to Rhode Island.
We need to get out of here, but Barb, thank you so much for being on the show. It was fun getting to do your store review, and I hope you're able.
I'm sorry that we were a little abbreviated this week because of the chat we have to get on, the call we have to get on in a few minutes. So if you have other questions, you can just private message Katie or myself, and we'll try and do some better follow up. I apologize that I feel like we rushed you through this one.
I'm sure I will come back. You can chew me up again. It's okay.
And everybody, if you guys are into jewelry and stuff, definitely go check out Barb on her YouTube channel. She's going on Grumpy. And I showed you guys earlier in the show. And also it's all of her stuff is linked down below in the description of this video. So definitely you can go check her out and check out what she's got going. She's doing some really cool, unique kind of stuff, selling stuff actually on her YouTube channel. So that's, I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely
really cool. And your Etsy store is great. The Etsy store has the best versions of her jewelry items and some of her vintage stuff. The jewelry is fantastic. So I think that might be where your calling is.
Yeah.
Maybe occasionally do some clothes, but since you don't really like them.
She's like, nah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on Friday for No Pants Friday. So get back to listing and
boss up and list today.
Yeah, indeed. Bye.